All right, traders, happy Tuesday to you. Welcome back to the live trading room. New York session. We got two live trading rooms. We got London kicking off the day, then New York bringing up the rear. But thank you, as always, for joining. Big shout out to you guys over on social media, TradingView, YouTube. We streamed the first part of this session, usually anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending how much of a rant I get on. The first trading idea of the day for you guys as well, so you can kind of get an inside look at what we do here at Tier 1 Trading, get a sense of how I trade and the community that exists. So thank you guys for joining. I don't have my normal screen up right now. I need to do that. I can't really see the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to have to bring that up somewhere else. My kid, well, I didn't charge my laptop and I forgot to bring it downstairs, but I'll try to keep up the chat. Or she says, Morning Kill, watch a documentary about Ronnie Coleman. Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't see the documentary, but I heard about the aftermath of kind of what he's been going through, which is pretty tough to see. So, yikes. All right, so let's get started. I was going to go with the New Zealand dollar today originally. But we do have some Kiwi news coming up. We're going to talk about New Zealand, but it's not I don't want to consider it my trade of the day because we do have some interest rate news coming out later today, 8 p.m., later tonight for me, maybe during the night for some of you guys. Obviously, interest rate decisions are always a high impact news event. We've kind of spoke about that over the past few weeks about how the market reacts off of news and all that fun stuff. Even more high impact, I would say, during the Asia session, just because there's less liquidity in that session. So moves are they tend to be 2x, 3x, 4x, and what you see on the chart. So we're going to look at New Zealand dollar later. We do have a busy week of news coming up, but we'll continue to talk about that as the week goes on. And we're going to head over to something different. We're going to head over to not the Aussie Swiss. Sorry, Percy over at TradingView. We can look at that later in the live room, but not here for the live stream. We're going to go over to, gosh, now I've forgotten. I got Aussie Swiss in my head. We're going to go over to Euro New Zealand to start things off. And this is a follow-up off of, I don't know if we looked at this pair in the Trading Edge video, but we looked at a lot of continuation opportunities in this weekend's Trading Edge. And this is one that I like as well, especially for the lower time frame traders, right? We talk a lot about swing trading. We give the swing traders most of the love here, but we don't want to forget about the lower time frame traders too. So let's start off on the Euro New Zealand, start off on the higher time frame, which is going to be the daily time frame. And we want to get a lay of the land, right? You can see price action has most recently violated our most recent level of structure. And then we've come to the next level of structure and we held, and now we are retracing, right? We're tracing right back into a previous level of consolidation. You guys can see a little classical pattern down here as well. Anybody see it? Boom, 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 boom. Yep, little head and shoulders action as well. Nice consolidation here, nice consolidation here. Kind of a perfect demonstration of how the market moves, right? We consolidate, we mark up or mark down. We then consolidate, we mark up or mark down, and then we consolidate and we mark up and mark down. By mark up and mark down, I mean like we go in a directional path, right? It's a perfect example of that. But what I wanted to look for here was on the 4-hour, because I think there is room to the downside, especially for a lower time frame. And I say that because of the most recent move, right? So the most recent level of structure that was on my radar was this little bit of a structure shelf right here. And you can see that we initially got a reaction, and this was a kind of an ice zone or a structure swap zones, right? So previous structure support was broken, violated, and then right away, or excuse me, previous structure resistance was broken, violated, right away turned to support. This was an important level I had on my radar. You can see a test right there, a hold, but we didn't quite get a follow through, and then we ended up technically breaking, closing beneath, and now consolidating. And For you guys that are either new to the tier one platform, haven't been through the training yet, or just new to kind of my teaching style, we assign very strict rules to identifying violations and holds. And it's up to you if you want to have rules or not. I think rules based trading is the way to be. It allows you to stay consistent in the market. And my belief in the formula of success is that consistent analysis plus consistent execution equals consistent results. So we like having rules for, what is a break of structure? What is a hold of structure? And we do that by identifying lower low, lower closes and higher high, higher closes. Welcome, Dennis from Denmark. Sweet. Richard says pound New Zealand moving as well. I'll tell you what, Richard. Richard. And I saw this a little bit later. I was doing my analysis this morning around 5 a.m. and there was a massive amount of movement on the pound pairs, but only the minor crosses. So you didn't see it on like the pound yen and pound dollar, but pound New Zealand, pound Swiss. We saw these big moves, and I could not figure out what it was because at the time nothing had come out. It was right before. A little bit before there was some fundamental news announcements come out, but a lot of directional movements on those pairs this morning. So I noticed the same thing as you. Real quick, Percy from TradingView says, does the graph go Jim? Does the graph go Jim? One of the most broad head and shoulders I've seen. Does the graph, can you explain? I'm not familiar with that terminology. Does the graph go Jim? If you can explain that, I'll try my best to answer it, but I'm new terminology to me. So we've got our lower low, lower close, so our violation of this level, and then we're starting to consolidate. And we go through this process called IPDE: identify, predict, decide, execute. Identifies, we want to identify what is the market doing, what has the market done based on what we identify. Then we're looking for to make a prediction on where we're likely to go next, and that's the phase we're at right now, where we've identified the lower low, lower close. Now the prediction is what direction we're likely to go in. We know the answer to that is going to be lower. The next part of that prediction is if we're likely to go lower, then where are we likely to go to? And that's going to determine if there, as I'm saying it lately because I'm always hungry, is if there's enough meat on the bone, which means is there enough room for profit in this trading opportunity. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no, but you need to check that box before ever taking a trade because it is, unless you have maybe secondary and unless you have multiple ways of attacking a trade, there's no point of wasting time on it if there's not enough room for you to actually make profit. So that's very important. And that's something that a lot of traders don't do. A lot of traders will just see an opportunity, they'll take it because the prediction's there, but they don't measure risk reward and all that fun stuff. Person says normally the head and shoulder, the head is higher than the shoulders. No. In a head and shoulders top. So this would be a head and shoulders bottom. And thanks for coming in. Someone asked, what are your thoughts on Euro Yen? If you're new to this live stream, what I'm doing is I'm just taking you through one trading opportunity. So my top trading opportunity today. Now, the actual live room here at Tier 1 Trading, we do go on for another few hours. So we'll look at multiple opportunities. Euro Yen, I believe, is on the list today. No, it's not on the list, but we usually do viewer's choice. So I'll look at whatever our community wants to look at. But unfortunately, here on TradingView or on YouTube, you're only going to get the one opportunity. So I apologize for that. I would advise you do this, though. We got a 14-day trial. It's $1. Sign up, spend 2 weeks on the platform. You get access to both of our live rooms and the recording. I'd advise hopping in, connecting with our community, coming and learning, sharing some ideas, sitting in the London and the New York live room if you want more. But going back to the head and shoulders real quick. Yeah, so this is called a head and shoulders bottom. The one where the head is taller would be a head and shoulders top. So a head and shoulders top looks like this. So a head and shoulders top, right? What you're looking for is a bearish reversal with the head and shoulders bottom. You're looking for a bullish reversal. So top is where the head is at the top. Bottom is where the head is at the bottom. Life-changing, right? Yeah. So an inverse. If you can call it that if you want. I don't like that term personally. I see an inverse. I look at it inverse as something else. That would be again, it doesn't matter what you want to call it, but for me, inverse head and shoulders would be something like this, where you have a head and shoulders bottom at the top of a trend. That's how I look at it, as inverse or inverted. But honestly, in trading, right, there's so much terminology out there. Guys, does it matter what you label something? What's important? What you call it or understanding what it is and what's supposed to happen off of it? What would you say? If you had to choose one, my ego's not big enough to yell at people for terms all the time. Sometimes, but yeah, it doesn't matter what you call it. So you can call it inverse, you can call it upside down, you can call it backwards head and shoulders. You can call it. We had a trader who called stuff like fluffy monkey pink bunnies, right? That doesn't matter at all as long as you know what it is. So when you have your trading plan, as long as you know that, hey, when I say inverse head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders or head and shoulders bottom top, whatever you want to call it, I know it looks like this, and ultimately that's all that matters at the end of the day. All right, so the understanding, right? And that's one of the hardest things for newer traders in trading is that there's no general terminology. Like you get a room full of traders, and you get like a higher high, higher close candle. You're going to get 5 different names from it, right? You're going to have, you go to pennant patterns and flag patterns or ascending and descending triangles, right? Many of those are classically known, but you're still not going to get 100% agreement on the names, and it's tough for newer traders because when you're learning how to trade, especially, and we had this conversation on a Trading Coach podcast episode about having multiple mentors or a single mentor. One of the problems that you notice is like if you're just going around YouTube, right? You don't have a set person or set group of people that you're learning from. If you're just going around YouTube looking at different videos, you're going to hear one person call one thing. You're going to hear another person call it another thing. You're going to hear the third person call it something else. And that's just going to add to your confusion because now you're like, these people are talking about the same thing, but because you're new, you're thinking it's something different, and it gets all weird. So there's not a solution for that in this industry, but that's one of the tough parts for newer traders. Dollar is very costly and life-changing. Losing all your portfolio in one trade is important. What? Losing all of your portfolio in one trade is important? Not losing all your portfolio in one trade is important? Losing's not important. No, that's bad. You don't want to lose all your trades in one portfolio. That's bad. All right. So Ada says expecting to pull back to 170s. Yeah. So let's talk about I need your guys' input for this. Okay. So let's talk about if we're going to continue lower. And again, I see this as a lower time frame trade. So we'll get clear once we get onto the hourly, and I don't have a range bar chart loaded up. We'll do that later on in the live room. If we're likely to continue lower, where are you guys thinking? Where could we go lower to? Because we're trying to see if this actually has legs on it, if it actually has opportunities. What would you say? And there's no wrong or right answer unless you're predicting something lower and writing a number that's higher. Ivis says 167. And again, I like seeing different ideas from different traders. This is how we learn, right? 167 even handle, the psych number. Taking notes from yesterday's trade plan breakdown. We got 166.76 by Percy, 166.76. Scooting down a little bit right to the lows of this level. What else do we got? We got 167.90, so right in the middle. 167.21, so a little bit higher than the even handle. 160. Oh, 166. Yo, you can't be putting those 3 6s together. You can't say 1.666. You got to say 1.667 or something like that. Come on now. We can't be putting those 3 6s together. But it looks like everyone is looking at the 167.50s, so a little bit higher. So it looks like we're all looking in the same area, right? Somewhere around this level of structure looks to be key, right? So the question for this is, right, so if you're looking for a prediction down here, right, and let's jump down one more time frame to an hourly, because again, this will make things clear as we just had a fresh break, right? The question is there an opportunity for you to trade down to that level? And I think for most people, you're going to say yes, right? Sometimes you get these situations where it's like, hey, if I'm a breakout trader and I trade on the breakout, there's not enough room because, the market has just gone in my direction, where from a pullback trader, there is enough room. I think in either way, there is, right? Let's say you're an aggressive breakout trader and you've shorted it right on this lower low, lower close candle, this red one right here. Let's say your stops are above the swing, the previous swing high, and your targets are at our highest level, the 167.50s, right? You've still got a quality risk reward. And obviously, if you're going lower, so whatever type of trader you are, this is going to be a pretty decent opportunity. Now, again, for me, this is going to be a lower. This is a trading opportunity that's both there for swing traders and day traders. I think the lower time frame is going to give a much better opportunity, and I'll show you why. Right, and this is what I like to do when I used to day trade. Usually on a range bar chart. Range bar charts on TradingView here aren't the greatest, so I'll live remembers, we'll look at a Ninja Trader one in a little bit. Not supposed to show Ninja here on the TradingView live stream. I don't want to get myself in trouble. But here's what you do in this situation, right? So you've got your area, right? Your projected extension, and we'll just take the higher point, goes to this level right here, right? 167.50s. And of course, I can go all the way down to 167 evens, right? If you are a pullback trader, for example, that's my preferred style of trading. What you're looking for is every single pullback as an opportunity. So if we get a fresh break, look for a pullback, look for your reason for entry. If you get a fresh break, look for a pullback, look for your reason for entry. You get a fresh break, look for a pullback, look for your reason for entry. You get a fresh break, look for your pullback, deep one, look for a reason for entry. And we can do this, or we can look for these opportunities to trade short until when? Until when? When does the opportunity end? And again, if you guys are just coming in, this is your first time here, what we're doing is we're just looking at one trading opportunity for the day. So it's going to be Euro New Zealand today. So I'm not going to share thoughts on Euro dollar, or another one that came in was gold. If you want to attend for the full session, again, sign up for the trial membership, hop in both the London and New York live room. We do this for a few hours each day, and we do viewer's choice. So I have a few trading opportunities that I want to look at, but I'll also ask our community, hey, what do you want to look at? We'll break it down, we'll analyze it and all that stuff. So hop onto the platform, do that trial membership. It's $1, it gets you 14 days and a whole bunch of other cool stuff too, like training courses. But do that if you want to be in a position where you get more than just this one idea. So I apologize, but I don't want this live stream to be the full session. That's just not fair to our members. Ivy says, until targets get hit. Yeah, you keep looking for it. And as I say that, someone says, please check pound dollar. No. Yeah, you keep looking for that opportunity until price has reached the destination, right? Your projected target destination. And once that projected target destination is hit, then that trade is scrapped, and then you start looking for the next opportunity, right? So pretty decent trading opportunity here. Again, I think it could be a swing trading opportunity as well, but much more of a day trading opportunity. We're currently trading at about 168.40s. We've got room to about 167.50s, 167 even. So that's 100 and what is that? Over 100 pips of potential profit right there, even to the short one. Decent opportunity. There's a few other opportunities like this as well. Again, we talked about it in Trading Edge video this past weekend. Ripple was a really good one that just blasted down. But any questions here on Euro New Zealand before we kick the live streamers out? By the way, before I kick you out, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you guys like what you're seeing here, it supports the video. This is a free thing that I do. I don't have to do it. It's a little bit of a hassle to do it. But if you continue to hit that like button, it motivates me to do it every day. So please do that on your way out. And then live remembers, we're going to load up Ninja Trader, go down to the range bar chart, because that's going to give us a much clearer view of kind of the ebbs and flows that can go into this trading opportunity. So let me just see if there's any questions. So I know there's a little bit of a delay before we leave. I suggest an accountability partner for your trade plan. We got some trade plan talk going over on YouTube. Backtesting the FTB, follow the bear. Working on trade plan. Hopefully end of the month, looking to start backtesting the daily chore. Nice, looking to get into backtesting. Daily chore is an easy one to backtest, especially if you have the software. It's a tough strategy to get right. But the backtesting, man, it is the fastest backtesting I've ever done on daily chore. I'll tell you that, especially if you use the software, because then you don't got to measure the candles and all that fun stuff. You just look for the red and green box. Anthony was a gem for that. I'm like, Anthony, come on. I'm sick of doing the math, Anthony. Just give me a thing. All right. So appreciate you guys joining for the live stream. I'm going to boot you off again. Leave a like before you head out. If you have any questions about anything, if you're watching this on a recording, just leave it in the comment section below. I do read all of them. I do respond to all of them. So don't be shy or ashamed or anything like that. No such thing as a dumb question for the most part.